All right, day 2 of our wainscoting DIY. And just so some of you guys know, if you've never looked into it, you can buy these pre-made. However, the cheapest option I could find for something that's similar size to this, which would be like a 25, I think by 22 was like the closest one. There was a 25 by 30. They're $20 to $25 per square. And about right now, I'm averaging about $7 per square. Granted, obviously, I'm not including any type of labor in that, but just this wall alone would have cost me, let's find out real quick. So quick math is not my strong suit, but at about $20 per square here, if I would have bought the pre-made ones, would have been $300 just for the squares, not including paint, not including caulking, or even honestly installing them, because I'm not going to glue these on. I'm brad nailing them on because it's more than enough to keep them on there. And if I don't like them, I can just yank them out and it won't rip off all the paint behind it, or like the drywall paper, which happens a lot of the times if you glue them on, which I'm not doing. So we're going to try to finish this little length of wall today, and hopefully we can get them all sanded. So like this one is ready for primer. I've got a little sand, well, I guess not primer, but I've got all the little brad holes sanded. The edges are filled and sanded. I'm going to caulk these little lines because I've got a textured wall, so it'll never sit flush. So I'm going to caulk around and the inside edges if they're lifting off of the texture. Do these ones, we're gonna have to measure it out, but we're gonna try to nail that down, and then maybe we can prime the wall. So I'll be back with you guys in a little bit. So I'm going to give you a little tip here. It seems like most people would think about this automatically. However, unfortunately, I'm not most people, and it did take me, the very first batch that I did, I made a little bit of an oopsies. So obviously, if you're making a square, you need a 45 cut each angle, right? Each angle would then... see here, flip this upside down, right? Each angle, you 44, 45, 45 is a 90, right? Nice little corner. So the one thing you have to remember is, you'll notice I've got all of these little triangles, right? I've got a ton of them, right? I've got a bunch of these little triangles. Every time you make this 45-degree cut, right, your next one is technically the opposite angle that you want, right? So if I tried putting, this, let's say, let's try to put this on this side because that's the angle it is. Notice how they don't line up. So you have to take this one, right, because this is the opposite angle, right? The end result, you have to cut off another little 45 the other way, so that way your inside edge is not your outside edge, right? Because right now, this is my inside edge, because of this angle, this can only be used as the outside edge. So you do have to cut off this little 45 here, right? So you can just this is a scrap piece, so I don't really care if it moves. This little lip here, right, this little bottom one, that is our inside angle, right? Because I cut this one, that inside angle is now our outside angle. So what we have to do, take this, so it would have been like this. You'd literally just flip it, right? So you flip it, and now they're both our inside edge, right? So you do have to account for that little bit, which I didn't when I was picking up all this trim. I did not account for this little triangle, which we'll say at most 2 inches of loss per cut. So that makes, I mean, you normally get about 3 to 4 per, 8-foot stick, 3 to 4, sides of the square. So you do have to account for this little bit of loss when you're doing your thing. All right, guys, we got pretty far. I got all these squares done. I started getting this top trim done. However, I don't really like how the window, sills, I don't know what you call those, the little bottom part there, it stuck out, and they also had like this little 2-inch drop down, which I did not like, because I planned on running, you can kind of see here, I planned on running this little top runner right up against the windowsill, which I did here. I learned my lesson from that window. I tried taking it out and I broke it in half. This one, I just cut off that extra little 2-inch piece that stuck out. I'll kind of wood filler the back end. You can kind of see here, it's a little rough here. So I'll wood fill that in, I'll sand it. I did spray some primer just because I was getting a little impatient, honestly, and just wanted to see what it looked like. So I did that. However, my air gun is leaking and I was getting paint all over the floor, as well as all over myself. So I'm gonna go fix that. I might be done for today. Oh, I ripped out the floor here. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not. I ripped this out because we had the empty square here. I've got the new flooring over there. I could not find a match. So these are pretty much done. I do have to go get another wood board for this windowsill. And I only have my GTO at the moment, so I kind of can't do that. And I'm hungry and I'm tired and my back hurts. So I'm probably done for today, just because, all the above that I just said. So yeah, got pretty far. And probably tomorrow we'll rip out the rest of the baseboards and probably prime this whole leading edge. And we'll also see if we can pick up some wood with the truck. So anyway, off I go.